we look at an intriguing topic, and once again, fans, you guys make the show what it is. I mean, if you're not talking about Crimson Tide football, then is Alabama really worth talking about? So if you have a thought, concern, question, never be afraid to share that with me, because you never know. It could potentially end up as a show topic. So on yesterday, I had a fan write me, and he was talking about how, Steven, I appreciate, I like Pete Golding. I trust Coach Golding. I think he's going to be able to have a bounce back year. I think he's going to be able to put this defense right where he needs to be at. But just a question here, Steven. In the event that against either USC or Georgia, where there could be a slight struggle with Coach Pete, whether the defense is still having trouble communicating, or the effort is still not there, or the performance is still not there, or the communication is still not there, or you still have the confusion from time to time, and Alabama is still having issues. If things like this were to happen or occur, what would be the possibility, or how quickly could you see, Coach Saban going to Charlie Strong and making him the defensive coordinator, having him, run the system and just pulling the plug on Pete Golding altogether? And I thought that was a very intriguing question because, to me, I think Coach Golding can get this done. I think Coach Pete Golding is going to have a bounce-back year. I think he has learned from what happened a season ago. He's taken inventory from that with the players that Alabama's going to have back from injury, and also the great mixture of veterans plus young guys. Alabama has a tremendous mixture of talent that is hungry and looking forward to getting back to the college football playoff and winning a national championship. But we are in a very, I don't want to use this word loosely, but we are in a very unique time in Crimson Tide football. And the reason why I say this is that I understand Coach Saban does not buy into all the national media hoopla. He can give 2 cents about what people like Paul Feinbaum, among others, have to say. He really doesn't care, right, about, Saban's windows closed and his time's running out. I don't see, a national championship being won for Alabama. It's too hard right now. Like, Saban can give 2 cents about that. But what he is looking at here is the opportunity to three-peat. The opportunity to be a three-peat national champion is weighing very heavily on his mind, because that's the hardest thing to do in college football. It's elusive, it's evasive, it's very hard to three-peat nowadays. I mean, USC had a shot at it with Pete Carroll. 2003 it won, 2004 it won. It could have won in 2005, but Vince Young happened. Even Alabama with A.J. McCarron had a shot to do it. Won in 2011, won in 2012, but in 2013, the kick six happened. So we have seen attempts to get the three-peat, but this time around, that window is open for Nick Saban. And the reason why it's open is this upcoming season right here, you look at the talent you have offensively, at wide receiver, on the offensive line, at running back, even at quarterback with Mac Jones, Bryce Young, Paul Tyson, and defensively with the guys you have coming back and the continuity on your coaching staff. This is the perfect time to get the first one, right? Because I believe Mac Jones has everything, ability and capability to get the first national championship, which would be the season. And then, once you graduate Mac Jones on, you've got the possibility of getting 2 more with either a Bryce Young or a Paul Tyson, with the weapons of wide receiver that you have, especially if the 2021 guys sign the letter of intent to come to Alabama, and then with more guys coming in, on defense as well. So the door is right there. The opportunity is right there. And for Nick Saban, if this is his last run, if this is his last wave of championships, he wants to sit there and say, Dabo Swinney's good, Kirby Smart is good, Jeremy Pruitt is good, all these other coaches are good, but I'm still the head honcho. I'm still the bad man smoking. I'm still number one on the hill. I'm still king of the block. Everybody still answers to me in college football. So if this is Coach Saban's last run at this thing, he wants to make sure that college football knows Nick Saban is still the baddest man working out here in terms of this sport. So he sees the opportunity here of a potential three-peat in this window. And it's because of that if there is the slightest struggle from Pete Golding to where there's confusion, to where there's a lack of performance, a lack of effort, a lack of communication, a lack of this Bama factors just not taking root here, then I can see, even before the season starts, I can see this in fall camp. I mean, I can see Nick Saban nipping this in the bud in fall camp and going, you know what, Pete? We tried. It ain't working out. We're going to pull the plug on this. And him going to Charlie Strong and saying, Charlie, this is your time now. You're running this defense. Here's the headset. I mean, I can see Coach Saban having a press conference in fall camp going, all right, don't ask me no more questions. It didn't work out this way. We're taking this way. We'll put a press release out there. Here it is. So if there was a slight struggle for Pete, I can see this being nipped in the bud in fall camp. Or if there happens to come a moment where, Coach Saban wants to see the dysfunction, happen on the field, I can see against USC to where if there was a mental blockage, if there was a breakdown, if Alabama's not playing like Alabama, and let's say the Tide has a struggle win where it beats USC between 3 to 5 points, then Saban gets back on the bus or the plane or whatever transportation that's being used, and he'll get back on the method of transportation. And he'll look at Pete Golding like, really? Like we thought we had this right this time, and we still don't have this right. All right, we're gonna make a change right now. We're going to Charlie Strong. like we're going with Charlie Strong. And I can see it happen, that way. Because to me, despite the fact that he accepted the job as a defensive analyst, once you've been a defensive coordinator, once you have been a head coach in college football, once you've been at the top and coaching at the elite level, at the highest level, like once you've won national championships at a big boy position, at a big man position, then, taking a defensive analyst job seems, it just seems like it's not in your league. It's beneath your league, so to speak. Now, of course, Charlie Strong took the job, but I'm pretty sure, Saban and Strong had a conversation that at some point he would have the opportunity to get the headset back, get back under the controls, call a defense, run a defense, orchestrate a defense, because he's still one of the best strategists. He's still one of the best schemers. He's still one of the best leaders. He's still one of the best coaches out there in college football. When you speak to peers of Charlie Strong, players that have worked with him, guys that have been around him, they still revere him as one of the best to do it. So if there was a moment where you saw a struggle, you saw a concern, you saw something bad in terms of Pete Golding and the guys not getting the Bama factor, they're still not getting it through there, but I could see a moment, early on in the season against USC where Alabama, Coach Saban would make that move to Charlie Strong. I mean, it would be difficult to make that move against Georgia, just seeing how that'll be the third game of the season. That's a pressure game. It's a lot of high stakes, a lot of familiarity in this game. This game could set up a potential, sequel, or it could be a prelude to the SEC championship. So I'm pretty sure Nick Saban would not want to wait to the Georgia game to make a move there if a move needed to be made. I'm pretty sure he would handle that early in fall camp and get that thing shut down right then. But just to me, when I look at Coach Golding, I think he has learned from what happened last year. I think he has learned from, I took my lumps, I took my bumps. I've helped 2 freshmen at linebacker learn the position. They're going to be a lot better in this upcoming season. I have Dylan Moses back. I have Joshua McMillan back. I have Christian Barmore. I have DJ Dale. I have LeBron Ray. I've got guys in the secondary. Coach Saban trusts me enough to allow me to have that year of a learning curve, that year to kind of have things go wrong, but still find a way to somehow put things back together. I had that mulligan year, so this 2020 season, I'm ready to set the world on fire and show people I can run defense. So I've got all confidence there in Coach Golding. But As always, folks, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage, and content on the Crimson Tide. You can do this by downloading the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. Very simple to do here. You can access this by going to the iPhone App Store. If you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store. If you have the Android phone. For your audio listening needs, we got you covered on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, Google Play, Overcast.fm, TuneIn Radio, or iHeartRadio. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I will return on Monday, continuing the conversation that is Crimson Tide football. But as always, husbands love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children continue to do those things legitimately now to not be bored. Get those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. Protect yourself, protect the loved ones around you. Do good to Dad this weekend. Enjoy Father's Day. And until next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith. This has been In My Own Words. Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.